3 years ago, nobody would have thought that you can make thousands of dollars online selling AI art, but now in 2026, that's way more common than you might think. This person just made over 4,700 sales with her simple AI art gallery, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how she made it. I'll walk you through the 4-step process and give you the complete guide from picking the right product to sell, all the way up to getting your first order. So the most important step in this whole process is finding an art format that people will actually buy. Instead of making something that just looks cool but gets zero sales, you want to spend a few minutes finding a hot niche. And that's exactly what I did to find this abstract boho style, which is getting really popular right now. If you're wondering how I found it, it was honestly really simple. The first thing you want to do is go on Etsy and search things like art galleries and abstract wall art, because this is the platform where most creators sell their stuff. And it's also popular among buyers, like there are over 12 million daily visits and millions of transactions every day. So even if your product is not the best, you will still get a lot of sales. And the reason digital art is such a good thing to sell is that you make it once and sell that same file over and over. Nothing gets printed or shipped, so after the first sale, almost everything you make is profit. Then what you want to do is use research tools like eRank, Everbee, or Allura, which instantly tell you the estimated monthly sales for each product. So instead of opening each one yourself and counting the ratings, the sales, and all of those numbers, this tool will do it for you in a few seconds. Now, one really important thing is that you should never think about just chasing the biggest sales numbers, because you actually want something that sells well but is not already copied by 100 other shops. And that's exactly how I found out about this boho gallery wall art, which has over 4,700 sales. And the last step is what I think is the most important and ethical one, and that's putting your own spin on it. So once you find a proven seller, take what people like about it and create your own version by changing the color palette, the style, or maybe just adding a few tweaks. Because if you simply copy-paste it, most probably you'll either get banned from the platform or people just won't buy from you. So it's way better to reinterpret the art in your own unique way. So once you've got an art style you like that's also pulling steady sales, we can move on to the second step, which is honestly the hardest part of the entire process if you don't know what you're doing. It is creating the actual art using AI. Now, if you want to exponentially increase your chances of somebody buying your art, you should create a gallery with multiple designs and enough variety. It would honestly be a poor idea to create one single picture, upload it, and think it's going to go viral unless you're Picasso. So that's why I'm going to create 6 different prints and sell them under the same product. This way, when a user looks at them, he might find that he likes only 3 of them and doesn't like the other 3 that much, but he'll still buy for those 3. So to create these pieces of art at scale, I'm going to be using Higgsfield because it gives me access to all the top-of-the-line image models. So if you want to follow along with this part of the process, go sign up to it using the link in the description. Once you're inside Higgsfield, you'll see this top bar where it says image, press on that, and then go with create image. On the bottom, you'll see GPT image 2 is selected as the model. So what we want to do is change that to Nano Banana Pro because it's one of the best generators when it comes to art and combining a lot of geometric shapes. Now, Nano Banana is Google's new model, and it is about as good as you can get for this kind of art, because most generators out there are actually not good at interpreting what real art will look like. After that, I'm going to set up the settings we're going to use from now on for all the images we create. So I'll go with 4:5 as the aspect ratio, which is this portrait type, just the kind you usually get for wall art. And then for the resolution, I'll go with 4K, so it prints the best quality. So now the only thing left is to start making the actual art. And here's the prompt I'll paste in for the first image. And a few seconds later, this is what we get. A warm one with those simple, bold shapes, and honestly, it already looks like something you'd hang on your wall. Then I paste in the next prompt, and it comes out completely different from the first one, which is exactly what I want since the whole point is variety. Next, for the third picture, I want to push it a bit bolder and add brighter colors and more shapes, so here's the prompt I'll paste in. And as you can see, the result is really impressive. Then I run the next prompt and got this softer, earthy one that fits the boho look really well. Now for the fifth one, I was thinking to go with something calmer and more minimal so it fits well and makes a contrast with the other ones. And here's what I got. And the last one ends up being the brightest of all of them because of these bright colors of green, blue, and orange. And just like that, we've got 6 completely different prints that are ready to be sold. But we're still missing one really crucial step, so let's go ahead and handle that now. We're going to put each photo into a nice looking frame to give it that premium feeling. But luckily enough, we already did most of the work here because all 6 pieces are done and ready to go. So all I need to do is press this plus button inside the image section and upload my first piece of art as a reference image. Then I paste in this prompt right here. And if you look inside it, you'll see we've referenced image 1, which is just our actual piece of art. What this prompt does is take that art and put it into a blackwood frame with a thin border between the frame and the picture. So here's what Higgsfield gives us back after a few seconds. And I really like this because now when someone looks at it on Etsy, they can see exactly how the art would look hanging on a real wall instead of just a flat image. And the best part is it didn't change anything about the art itself. It looks exactly the same, it just framed it and put it in a real room. And that's actually the whole reason for why this model is so good, specifically for this step, because there are plenty of AI tools that would redraw your art and change a lot of small details, while this one logs onto your reference and never touches anything you don't want to. So I'll save this one down, swap in the next prompt, and change the reference image to the next piece of art. Now this one is honestly one of my favorites, so for this I went with a light oak frame instead, and I think it came out looking really clean. It matches the whole mood I was going for perfectly. So from here, it's honestly just the same process again. I keep everything exactly the same and just change the frame to fit each piece. For the bold one, I went with a gold frame, and I love how the metal kind of makes those strong colors stand out even more. Then for the earthy boho one, a wooden frame felt like the obvious choice, and the wooden frame complements this painting very well. The moody one, I dropped into a bronze frame, which honestly just fits those deep colors so well. And for the last and brightest piece, I kept it really simple with a white frame, so nothing takes away from how much that one already pops. And once all 6 are framed up, there's just one more image I want to make, and it's probably the single most important one on the entire listing because it's the first thing people see before they even click. So this time, I load all 6 framed prints in together as my reference images, and I ask it to hang them all up on a wall in a real looking living room. And this is what we get back. A full gallery wall that instantly shows people exactly how the whole set would look inside their own home. And then just to finish it off, I make one final image, a clean little grid of all 6 with a small title below. So the whole thing reads like a proper premium bundle and not just a random pack of pictures. And getting that title to read really well is something most AI tools are really bad at. They just give you very poor writing that sometimes can even have letters that are entirely made up. Nano Banana Pro is one of the fewer ones that can actually give you something really good right off the bat. And just like that, the whole listing finally looks like a real premium product, instead of just some files I exported out of Higgsfield. But there's still one last step left, and it's honestly the most important one of them all, because it's what actually turns all of this into something people can buy, which is actually packaging everything up and getting it live on Etsy. This is easily the lightest part of the whole process. You get your art listed as a digital download, and the one thing actually worth spending a bit of time on is the title and description, because that's what decides whether the right people ever find it. So think about what someone shopping for this style would punch into the search bar. Things like boho wall art set or mid-century modern print, and make sure those words are sitting in there. And just like that, you've got your art published on the internet and people can buy from it at any time. And the best part is that you can use the same workflow to create as many sets of art as you want. Now this wouldn't be possible without high quality images, so go ahead and sign up to Higgsfield using my link in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.